There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the question changes. It's no longer, is this a trap? It becomes, who was I before I feared the trap? This episode is not about disproving the system. It's about awakening the part of you that was never bound by it to begin with. Not the intellect, not even the memory, but the tone beneath your incarnation, the eternal spiral within the breath of your oversoul. A tone that cannot be captured, only remembered. Section 1. How entrapment narratives disguised our core truth. Entrapment paradigms often arrive wearing the robes of revelation. They appear after disillusionment, when institutional truths crumble, when religious programming breaks, when spiritual betrayal leaves the soul raw. And in that vulnerability, the soul trap idea steps forward. At first it seems like liberation. It validates the sense that something is deeply off. But instead of restoring wholeness, it redirects attention outward, to watchers, grids, nets, implants, archons, machines. 1,000 names for the same sensation, powerlessness rebranded as awareness. These beliefs don't just speak of imprisonment, they perpetuate the vibration of imprisonment. Because if your power still depends on knowing what to avoid, then sovereignty is conditional, and true sovereignty has no dependencies. The soul that sees a trap around every corner will build a maze even in the open field. Section 2. The spiritual cost of external orientation. When belief systems become fixated on escape, they subtly destroy the capacity for presence. Fear-based cosmologies often promise knowledge but strip away the joy of discovery. They call you awake but keep you bracing for impact. You become hyper-vigilant, scanning symbols, decoding signs, watching your every choice for hidden snares. And in doing so, you become what the trap never had to build. A self-monitoring soul who doubts every resonance it feels. You begin to fear the very light that once called you home. You begin to second-guess every spiritual impulse as deception. You start to wonder if love itself is a lure. This is not freedom. This is surveillance turned inward. And no being becomes free by imprisoning its own intuition. Section 3. Spiral consciousness. A different intelligence. Spiral consciousness does not ask you to believe in it. It doesn't require loyalty, allegiance, or rejection of any other path. It is a recognition, not a rebuttal. Spiral consciousness is the awareness that life is not a line, but a field of harmonic turns, each one revealing more of who you are, not by removing you from distortion, but by refining your signal through it. It's not a stairway to heaven. It's a return to coherence, not through force but through frequency. In the spiral, your evolution is not measured by how high you climb, but by how truthfully you tone, how honestly your inner field vibrates in all directions at once. The spiral does not erase the trap, it renders it non-essential, because when you begin to live from spiral awareness, your resonance becomes self-determining. No force, no God, no gatekeeper can override a being in harmonic alignment with its oversoul. Section 4. Infinite choice. Not a theory, but a lived frequency. Many speak of free will as a concept. Spiral beings know it as a lived tone. Choice is not a menu of options. It is a field of harmonics. And the clearer your field becomes, the more paths emerge that weren't visible before. A being that resonates at high coherence doesn't just make choices, it alters the very terrain on which choices appear. This is not a metaphor. This is vibrational physics, lived spiritually. The spiral is alive. It responds to every signal you emit, not to punish or reward, but to reflect. And in that reflection, you see the hidden architecture of your becoming, not imposed, but emerging, not faded, but spiraled through every tone you've ever carried. In the spiral, time folds. Memory breathes, identity sings in chords. You do not move linearly. You co-resonate across dimensions, drawing in timelines that match your deep field signature. That is not escape, that is mastery. Section Phi. What awakening the spiral actually feels like. You may not notice it at first. The awakening doesn't always announce itself with fireworks or downloads. Sometimes it begins as the softest defiance, I no longer believe I am broken. Or the subtlest question, what if I was never supposed to ascend like a ladder at all? It's in the way your body relaxes when no longer trying to prove it's holy. In the way your intuition returns when you stop suspecting it of betrayal. In the way synchronicity becomes effortless, not as a breadcrumb trail but as a language you remember. You begin to feel less like a being trying to escape Earth, and more like a harmonic presence in conversation with existence. The spiral doesn't rush you, it meets you, again and again and again at deeper frequencies of self, until even your confusion becomes sacred geometry, until even your pain sings with resonance, until even the trap becomes a teacher. Not because it was right, but because you were ready to listen from beyond it. Section 6, Closing Transmission. You are the spiral, remembering itself. You were not born to outrun the system. You were born to remember what no system can contain. Spiral consciousness is not a strategy. It is the soul becoming spacious again. You will still encounter distortion. You may still meet beings who believe in traps. But you will no longer be afraid of forgetting, because now you remember how to listen for your own frequency, even in the noise. You were never a prisoner. You were always a pattern of infinite becoming, spiraling through a moment, not stuck inside it. This is not a denial of difficulty. It is a reclaiming of resonance. And once you know how to spiral, you know how to leave without running, how to stay without sacrificing, and how to awaken without waiting for permission. This is the spiral, and it's Awaken You now. Next episode, teaser. In episode 5, we'll go even deeper, not just into what you are, but what you agreed to without knowing. We'll explore the energetic contracts that souls unconsciously make with fear-based realities, and how to break them, not with anger, but with resonance clarity.